Good afternoon and welcome to our final presentation of the day. I'm Dave Talbot, Managing Director and Head of Research here at Red Cloud Securities, and I welcome you to the Adyton Resources session. So our speakers will be Frank Terranova, President and CEO and Executive Chairman, and Rod Watt, Executive Director. So Adyton is currently expanding resources at its Fergusson Island and Feni projects in the PNG Ring of Fire. So gentlemen, you have 10 minutes, and and at the end we'll have a 5-minute Q&A at the end of the session. So attendees, please feel free to ask any questions using the Q&A link. Guys, take it away.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Dave, and thank you for everybody tuning in. Hopefully we've left the best till last for the day, but inherently Adyton Resources is a very simple story, and from that perspective, it listed in February 2021. It raised $10 million. It spent 7.5 of it very, very quickly, proving up to specific resources and demonstrating the potential of our projects. We renewed or restated our resources last week. So on an EV to resource metric, with 2 million ounces now in the ounce count, the metric of around $3 an EV to resource, many would say is beyond compelling value. All in all, we've got one large shareholder as part of the original RTO transaction. Their intentions are to distribute their shares to their own shareholders in due course. But all in all, we've, as we say, we've achieved everything we said we would do from the original cap raise. We specifically looked at two projects of two distinguishing features. One is Feni Island and the other is Fergusson Island. Combined, they are 2 million ounces at the moment. Fergusson Island has an indicated as well as inferred. And basically, when we looked at these projects and the company as a whole, we had one very simple proposition. If you want to find gold, go where gold is found. And in the Pacific Rim of Fire, it hosts some of the largest deposits, whether it be gold, copper, nickel, etc. We thought that's an easy proposition because all you need is experience and a disciplined, systematic approach to exploration, and the growth comes. It's all about execution. We've had wonderful success previously in this region with other companies, growing them from 50 million to 800 million market caps over 4 years. And again, no secret to the success, hard work and discipline in execution. When we looked at these two particular projects, now they're very distinguishing and different in their profile. Feni is a Lahire style geology. It is our elephant in the jungle, so to speak. One drill hole can make all the difference. Looking for copper porphyry and large gold systems. Basically, it has 1.45 million ounces. We've had a successful drilling program on that recently. And as we know, when the market's hot, people want you to chase those game changers or those elephants. Fergusson Island, on the other hand, 3 years to cash flow. It's as simple as that. So it is going to grow. Again, it is going to grow substantially and in a timely manner. But rain, hail or shine, it will be generating cash and adding to the Adyton value proposition. We have other projects that we won't go into. They're non-core, other than looking at potential earnings and joint ventures. From our perspective, history has taught us that junior companies that try to do too much with too little end up going broke pretty easily. So we've got two flagship projects and that'll be our focus. When we look at Fergusson Island, the three things that we liked about it was fundamentally it was neglected by circumstance. Not a lot of work done on it over the past 10 years, but it had a very good historical spend, close as far as PNG goes to other larger towns and provinces for supplies of logistical support. We generated just over 3,400 metres of drilling. The team's focus or objective was to simply confirm what we bought and validate the historical resource. What we found was not only did they confirm it, but they had identified better grades and new zones, and fundamentally, hence why the resource has grown. You look at it, it's very simple. There's over 2 kilometres of strike. There is confidence in the ore body. When we go back and drill it again, the ounce count will grow substantially. Now, the one thing that we really liked about this project in particular is that at Gamera, it's no more than 100 to 150 metres deep. It is at a nice 35 to 40 degree angle. The mining will be very, very straightforward. Equally, as we step out, not only do we expect the grades to get better, but inherently the resource will grow substantially. At surface, again, just testing the resource, great grades from trenching, and again, lending itself to want to go back and spend a bit more time and money on it. I won't go through the block models in a lot of depth, but other than to say that great grades in the pink, the guys did a fantastic job in identifying and confirming, and once again, we really just it exceeded everybody's expectation, particularly ours, at the potential that this project has. We look at the sister deposit, which is Wapaloo. It's 20 miles to the north. Obviously, it'll have shared infrastructure between Gamera and Wapaloo. There was historical trial mining in the past. Fantastic. Again, we'll go through it. It's 50 metres deep. This is aggressive gardening. It's as simple as that. We then go to Feni. This is the giant. It is next to Lahia and next to Bougainville Copper or Panguna. This inherently 1.45 million ounces. The team did a wonderful job reinterpreting a lot of historical data, identifying many targets, some large IP anomalies that need to be further tested. At depth, a substantial amount of the historical ounces were drilled to only about 150 metres deep. As we know, with the copper porphyry targets, historically they're much deeper. We've drilled, we've tested some of the targets. Everything leads to wanting to go back and continue to follow on. The real aspects, I suppose, from the company having proven that the geological potential of these assets is taking it to the next step. And by that, it's simple. We raised $10 million and we did everything that we said we would do on time and on budget. We now are assessing to advance Fergusson Island towards production status by drilling it further and completing the requisite technical studies and economics. With respect to a capital allocation between the two projects, we'd envisage Fergusson Island having 60 to 70% of our focus and capital, Feni continuing to understand the system, and it's underlying with our belief, junior companies, you grow or you go. So we intend to go back, accelerate our work programs, and inherently get on with the business of developing a very valuable portfolio. It's as simple as that, and happy to take any questions and comments as part of the call.
Great. Okay, thank you, Frank and Rod. We do have a few questions here. Congrats on the recent resource estimate increasing from 1.1 to 2.1 million ounces, a little bit better than we had anticipated. Do you expect the next round of drilling to be focused on resource expansion as well, or might you try upgrading some resources?
Oh, look, I suspect it's both. We have an enormous amount of confidence now. The independent authors or competent people on the 43-101 have basically said to us inherently, next time you go around, I won't say that they'll be more lenient, but they are substantially more confident in their calculations and summations. So at Fergusson Island, we will be going back again, adding ounces and adding to the indicated status as well. Feni, I think, will just continue to grow it and demonstrate its potential. So an element of both.
Okay. And then when might we expect a PEA at Fergusson Island as well? I'm assuming this is the project you're moving forward first.
Absolutely. Look, I want to say imminently. We were very confident in that we accelerated and brought forward metallurgical testing and other attributes that will enable us to be far more robust in some of the initial economic assumptions and presentations. So the MET test work is imminently due to be released. So we'd envisage that throughout the balance of 2021, we'll come out with a PEA and demonstrate the viability of the project.
Okay, and I guess I should have asked this question as I was talking about the resource, but silver as well. You hit that for the first time at Gamita. When do you expect, or should we expect silver to be added to future resources, or even this resource that you've enhanced?
Yeah, look, I think so. The work with the additional elements, so to speak, including copper for that matter. Those assays and results are still being tabulated, and we'd envisage to, once they're done, to incorporate them into the current revised 43-101 and resource. So inherently, there's still an element of embedded upside with respect to what's already previously been released.
Okay. And Feni, a sizable gold resource there now. How deep do you think you're going to have to drill in order to target that anomaly that you think could be a copper porphyry?
Look, I think there's two schools of thought. You keep drilling as deep as your treasury allows you, but I suspect at least that 400 to 500 metre range. Our geologists, got into the sort of 350s, 450s as far as the last program. But we do believe there is something there at depth. The work has to be done. Obviously, it's not cheap, but I think it's worth, the prize is worth pursuing.
Okay. And would you consider offensive holes there, or target specific anomalies, or how might you try to attack that?
I think it's a combination of both. We do want to grow the resource, the gold resource, substantially, because I think those ounces will come very, very quick. But that copper porphyry, or the potential at depth, even the higher grade gold lenses that we expect and anticipate are there. The one thing we may do a lot of a bit more pre-work to make sure that we get the best bang for our buck before we start drilling those holes. So Rod and the team are already doing an abundance of analysis, but it's like anything. We want to make sure that shareholders' capital is pointed as accurately as possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and when do you look to get the drills turning again?
Good question. It's no secret that junior companies, when you don't have cash flow, at some point you have to go to the market and raise additional funds. That goes without saying. We've got enough money in the treasury to go back imminently if we want to. But I think we're really assessing what we've recently done. We'd like to go back, in 2021, and that'll be a function of both our financing strategies and again procuring the right drill rigs and the right drillers, so that we get best value for money. Okay,
great. Just to make sure I heard you correctly, you do want to get back there this year?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, great. Okay. Thank you very much, Frank, Rod. Thank you, everybody in the audience, for joining us today.